Hi there YouTube, this is Hydro Pure Fuel checking back. I'm in the process of making my version of the Luther P40 flow meter. I've decided to go with a 2" by 3" support coupling, the base basically. The reason being is I found that 1.5" thin wall PVC that's used in the main tube coming up. It's for one, it's hard to find. I did find some, and after playing around with one, the tube I felt was just a little bit tight. It wasn't bad, but these all seem to have a little bit of a curve to them if you side them, and it's hard to find a super straight one. But anyway, I went with a 2" outer tube, and the thought is that it's just basically a water seal, and that's what the gas is pushing against to ultimately push the tube up. So anyway, I had to find a few more parts. I found this goodie that I was unaware of. I've been working with plumbing and electrical and stuff my entire life, and this is a new product they just came out with. It is a repair coupling that goes inside of a 2" pipe, so that you can cut a pipe off at a coupling. Here's a piece of 2" here, and you can take this coupling and it actually fits inside the pipe, and you glue it, and then you have another coupled end here for another piece of pipe, and this piece of pipe that comes out would be 1.5". So anyway, that's my little alternate version of Luther's base. And he uses tape on the bottom of the inch pipe that fits inside the 1.5" thin wall, which works. It works good. I just wanted something a little more sturdy, I guess. And this piece is an 1.25" cap. This goes in the bottom of this. I had to trim off the lettering and stuff, sand it down. It fits inside here very snug, and you can glue that. And then the inside, you can push that tight actually. You can glue that up, and then you take a 1.25" by 1" reducer coupling. You trim off this little flange here, which is kind of fun, but it's not that hard to do. And that goes down inside of the 1.25" cap. It fits down inside like this. After you trim the lip off, the flange off the top of the coupler, it slides all the way down in there. And then the 2" pipe slides in here. And I will get these pieces cut for a more accurate demonstration. But the 2" pipe slides into the base, and then you flip it over, and this piece slides inside the 2" pipe snugly, and you don't have to glue it, so you can take it apart later and do maintenance or clean it or whatever you need to do. But you can see the gap that's left. That's where your 2" pipe fits. And then with this coupling down inside here, your 1" pipe fits inside that, and then this, your meter tube, can slide freely. And all the other methods and stuff are great. I mean, Luther came up with a great design, and I appreciate that he shares all that stuff. This piece here is hard to find. I have a source of these. If anyone's interested, contact me. I can get them for you. They're not cheap. They're not. I think it was a $4 part. I'll have to check. Anyway, these aren't cheap either. These are about $15. Tube's cheap. I used duct closure system tape. It's basically a foil tape with a super sticky putty on it, and I just put it on the inside and outside for my seal on my cap. It's kind of hard to do this one-handed. Anyway, I will see, I put it on the inside and the outside, and then you touch the two surfaces. You can't even hardly get that apart. You can't get it apart without destroying the tape. And I will also use tape around this edge before I actually get it all finished. But I will cut pipes, and I'll be back. Cap inside this repair fitting, and I have this is the 1.25" by inch reducer bushing, and I have carved this lip off. I basically just used it with a Dremel with a little sanding wheel on the end. Came right off, cleaned up the edge a bit, and then this piece now will go all the way down inside the end up in the bottom of the cap. The assembled unit. I've not glued it. I tapped it together with a mallet and a rubber mallet, and it seems to be very tight. I have to actually tap it apart to get it apart. This is the assembled tubes, and you can adjust the bottom just by tapping it to get this centered. I think this is the biggest concern, my concern. And this gap here that we see, you know, this does kind of wiggle around a little bit, but this gap here is a little bit bigger than the 1.5" thin wall. It's quite a bit bigger. But the water's here. Comes up to heat roughly, you know, the bottom edge of this cap. Gas comes through here, forcing the tube here up. And I put my marks on. I've taped the cap. I put my marks. I used a liter measuring cup to get my liter, and then the others as well, 250, 500, 750. And then this just slides right over there, and you can actually let go of it and it'll slowly force the air out, which is actually kind of cool. And then for my measurement, you do have to kind of wiggle it to get it over that little lip inside, but since we're just doing a measurement, you know, from the bottom, I don't think that's an issue. The gas comes in from the bottom, and this, you know, rests down, and you're not taking multiple readings unless you reset it. So anyway, that's my my attempt. Now I just have to put the fitting in the bottom and fire it up. Drilled the hole in the base, and this is basically a 1/2" hole. And then this piece I drilled the 7/16 hole, and I don't know if you can see that, but I threaded it with just a 3/8 pipe thread tap. One of these you can get pretty much anywhere. I've seen guys heat pipe and do the same thing. I think this is a little cleaner method, but either way it'll probably work since there's not a whole lot of pressure involved. So then I will slide it together and put in the threaded tip here with the barbs on the one end, the male thread, and I'll get back. Here's the assembled unit from the base. The side, it comes right through there, enough to get a slide a tube over it, and the inside, the way this is set up, I can get a wrench in there to tighten it. It's not a big deal. It's basically 5/8 wrench can fit right in there, tighten this puppy up, and remove it as well.